Hello my friends again, welcome back to Daisy's Garden. In this one I was going to talk about my first psilocybin mushroom experience, and before I get into discussing it, I just want to put out there that I don't promote or condone use of psychedelics. This is just my story, and some people I feel like can use it as a tool. So for certain people, I feel like they can use it as a tool for mental, spiritual, or consciousness growth. So just put that out there. But this story takes place at a buddy's house of mine. And the night started with, I got off work, and it was gonna be me, my girlfriend at the time, and my two best friends. We were gonna all do it together. And after work, we were gonna go meet up at my buddy's house. He was at his girlfriend's house, so we meet up at his house. He's not there yet, so we're just kind of hanging out, waiting for him to get there. And then we get a call, and in this call, he said that he had a flat tire, and he was like 10-15 minutes away on the highway. So we went up there to help him because he didn't have some of the tools, so he was kind of stuck. He didn't have a wrench. We didn't have a wrench or anything to get the tire off, so we went up to Walmart, which was 5-10 minutes up the road, got one, came back, changed that tire, but his spare tire was flat. So that was another little predicament. But we were like, okay, there's a gas station that's like a quarter of the mile, half a mile up the road, so we could just make it there, take it slow, put on your hazards, we'll be all right. So that was good. And then probably like a few hundred feet down the road, shredded. So his spare was done. So my other buddy had a spare that we were going to put on. And then this construction guy, I don't know like what kind of work he was in, but he had a truck that looked normal, but it had all these kinds of emergency lights like inside the grill of the car and stuff, just lights that I didn't know were there till he turned them on. And then he parked his truck so that people that were coming, if they didn't see us and went to hit one of us, it'd be his truck. So I thought that was really cool of him to do that. And then he came over, fixed it real quick for us. Shout out to that guy for being a very, very helpful, nice human being, because that was really cool. And then from there, we went to his house. I just feel like that part of the story was important because it was just a very funny scenario to be put in before we were gonna do this. So we get to his house. We had psilocybin liquid. I'm not exactly sure what it was called, but it was a mushroom extract, and we put that in orange juice because I guess that it absorbs to your stomach lining easier and better. So we did that. We took it, and then we sat on the couch and we put on the TV, and on his TV, we put on Toy Story 1. Now, his TV was normal, but for some reason at the edges of them, it was rounded off, so it was already kind of warped. So that was already kind of trippy. So that was a funny way to start it. And then I noticed when I started feeling it, I started feeling very, very buzzy, very, very vibrating. It was a feeling similar to when I would eat an edible, a cannabis edible. It's like that body buzz, and it was like a heavy, heavy, heavy one of those. And then pretty soon after that, I started getting some tracers, which was pretty crazy off the bat, especially because I hadn't experienced that before. So it was a whole new world, and so that was really cool. And then from there, it just got it enhanced more and more. And then once it was like really set in, we were outside for this part. For most of it, we were outside. And one of the moments that I really remember was we were outside, and he lives in the country, so there's a lot of nature and woods and stuff around. And he has a cat, so there was some nature and cat around, and then my friends. It was awesome. It was awesome. And I was running around. And I was staring at the ground as I was running in the grass, and everything looked like a computer grid, like a black background, with those. It's a grid of like neon green. It's just like a grid, and I've seen that before on like shows and stuff for I don't really remember, just on TV. I remember seeing that before. It was the ground, and as far, like, wherever I looked, like, kind of on the ground, because that's pretty much where my perception was just on the ground and, like, the bottoms of trees, but that was pretty much it. But it all looked like a computer grid. It was really, really, really crazy. And just a very overwhelming sensation of just being. I remember multiple times trying to, like, explain how I felt, but I just kept saying, like, I am. I remember just feeling like I just was, and that was it. And it was so calming. And I remember also, I was kind of in a little zone of my own for a little while, and I felt like no matter what, because I always had so much problems with anxiety, that when I was under this beautiful trance, I felt like it was impossible for me to feel anxiety. And I didn't, like, so much as, like, really force it, but I was, like, kind of seeing, like, if I could, and I did not give a shred of a shit about not about anything, because, like, everything was beautiful, but more of I couldn't worry about anything, because no matter what, things are beautiful, it'll be okay. And I feel like, because this was before I really got into, like, expanding my consciousness and spirituality and stuff, so this was like a very big door buster. You know, I busted right in the door and was like, all right, well, so this is this is what it's gonna kind of be like. And it was just so empowering. And then I remember we were just chilling, and just talking about it, and his cat was there, and I noticed it, and I looked at it, and I was just, you know, observing, and we made eye contact, and instantly it clicked with me, and I was like, he wants in the house. And then right when I started walking over there, instantly started walking to the door, and it was just like this, like, it was normal, I guess, in a way, to, like, obviously to let an animal in the house that's normally kind of indoors, but it was this really odd feeling of, like, this communication I had with an animal. It was crazy. And then when I let him in the door, he meowed, and I just said, I said that out loud. I was like, you're welcome. And it was just this really, after it happened, I was just like, man, I feel like I had this strange communication with an animal. And it was like, it was just such an eye-opening experience, and I took so much from it, because it was just this, it really opens your eyes to the interconnectedness of everything, of literally everything that humans have made, nature, myself, my friends. Like, it's just incredible. Like, everything is just singular, essentially. In that mode, it felt for me. I just feel like, man, if there's ever something, like, in terms of taking medication for depression or PTSD or anxiety or something, man, psilocybin would be, like, a perfect alternative, because not only is it the safest drug to do, psilocybin mushrooms are, but, man, in terms of how medication how it takes so long for it to, sometimes it takes weeks for it to start affecting you, and it might even make your symptoms worse, and then you have to withdraw. It's just all a mess with prescription. And then you have a natural plant that grows from the ground that in a few hours can, like, alter your perception of life 180 degrees. And to me, that's just incredible. And for me, that's how I took it, and that's definitely where it took me. I have a few other stories about psychedelics. I did mushrooms. I did that 2 more times, and then I did LSD twice. So I'll have more stories on psychedelics. But yeah, I just wanted today to be kind of a little backstory on how psychedelics are, and just another different perspective on my perspective on psychedelics and what it did for me, because they're different for everybody. So this is just, you know, my perspective, which, like I said, was life-changing and amazing. And yeah, so that's what the point of this video was. I hope you're all having an amazing day, of course. And if not, just be thankful that you're able to watch this video and use your eyes and your ears to listen to it, and that you're breathing. There's just always so many things to be appreciative of, and of course it's all right to react to things and to feel certain ways. Of course, you're a human being. You can't be positive 100% of the time, but you just got to react and move on from whatever it is. So I hope you're having an amazing day again, and don't forget the happy trails and the nature baths and prana breaths, my friends. Peace. I'll see you guys very soon.